The UN in a statement urged, quote, maximum restraint in the region to avoid any further escalation. But as we know, restraint is a commodity in short supply there. Joining us now is the author of that statement, Stéphane Dujarric, spokesman for the UN Secretary General. Stéphane, great to have you on set. So we heard that not only did the UN Secretary General warn that these attacks pose a serious risk of dramatic escalation in the region, the UN's chief of human rights condemned the attacks as, quote, a violation of international law, and said that those responsible will be held to account. What does that look like?
Well, I think what the worry for us in this attack is not only the weaponization of everyday items, as you mentioned in your introduction, but also the risk of a much wider conflagration within the region. I mean, the whole region is on tenterhooks. We are pushing for more diplomacy. We are pushing for people to scale back from the brink. Civilians continue to pay the price. You know, tens of thousands of Israelis have had to abandon their homes. Tens of thousands of Lebanese have had to abandon their homes on both sides. On both sides, you have civilian suffering. So we need to be able to walk back and to get back to diplomacy. There are ways through the UN for the Israeli Defense Forces and for the Lebanese army to talk, and we need to go back to that sort of diplomacy.
Right, but that leaves out Hezbollah, a designated terrorist organization for quite some time now that has killed people all over the globe from many, many countries and continues to lob missiles and drones into Israel. Doesn't Israel have a right to defend itself?
Of course, every country has a right to defend itself. There's a Security Council resolution on the books which calls for the Lebanese state, for the Lebanese army to take back effective control in the south. That has not yet happened, and we need to see that happen, right? The state of Lebanon needs to take control of the south of the country again.
What are the chances that's going to happen? I mean, Hezbollah has a tight grip. It's the best financed, most powerful proxy that Iran has on this planet. It's doing incredible damage and has vowed to continue attacking Israel until the war in Gaza is done. And those peace talks and ceasefire talks have stalled and are going nowhere fast.
Well, it's hard to predict what will happen. We know it has to happen, right? Again, it's civilians that are paying the price, whether in South Lebanon, in northern Israel, the hostages that remain in Gaza, the Israeli and other nationals who remain detained by Hamas, and of course the Palestinians themselves in Gaza who continue to suffer.
You just heard Norman Rule talk about something that I've been hearing a lot, actually, as I've been reading and following this coverage and talking to people, that Israel didn't mean to kill civilians. This was an attack aimed at Hezbollah terrorists. It's the terrorists who have the pagers and the terrorists who have the two-way radios. They were the people who were targeted with this pretty stunning two-day attack.
Well, I mean, we're seeing also civilians. We're seeing children having been maimed, and I mean, we're seeing other civilians having been wounded, if not killed, during this attack as well. But what we want to see is not continuation of this violence. We need to get back to diplomacy.
So what is supposed to happen in this Friday meeting that is scheduled to discuss the entire situation? It's an emergency meeting. What do you plan to get accomplished? Well,
what we know will happen, the Lebanese will come and speak very frankly, as will the Israelis. We, on behalf of the UN, we will present what we see the situation as and how we want to get back to diplomacy. It will be a chance for member states to speak fairly clearly on what their positions are.
And how much control do you think Iran has in all of this? In other words, nobody's negotiating with Hezbollah. They're not sitting at the table, even though they're the ones who've been who are targeted in this attack and have been committing the acts that drew this attack. So you can't negotiate with them. So can anybody pick up the phone to Iran and say, you got to get this to get
Well, I mean, we on our end, we have people in Lebanon who are speaking to all parties, including Hezbollah, including other armed groups, and including the government. I mean, Iran and other countries in the region are also have an influence. I mean, it's clear. But what we need to see is that those countries who have influence on the region use that influence positively to bring peace and not to bring more violence.
This whole supply chain warfare that has been kicked off today and yesterday is something new. I mean,
it's very worrying, right? We're seeing a new phase of warfare, and it's opened up a dangerous door.
Stéphane, thank you so much. You'll have a busy week, I think, ahead of you.
Thank you.
Maintaining diplomacy. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven unbiased coverage.